The show must go on.
The show must go on. We got this. Oh, thank you for having me, Post Film Clarity, for a very serious conversation. We need to talk about something called PR.
Yes. Oh my God. That is such a great way to open this episode. Welcome to Post Film Clarity. We are doing an emergency episode. An emergency
live.
The Oscars have turned into a literal PR emergency for pretty much every nominee this year. So we've brought on our Bronco Henry specialist, Halley Platz, to do this emergency episode on what has turned out to be one of the most chaotic award seasons of our lifetime. I literally can't believe the shit that's been going on. So welcome to the show, Halley. Wow.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here on behalf of the Bronco Henry Foundation for Horses. I have little gold men. I have 5 here for some reason. I thought holding them all would make me look really cool.
It does. It does, in fact, make you look very cool, very serious.
Like to thank God. Anyway, so the Lord. Yeah, I'd like to thank God for not involving me in this year's Oscars.
I'd like to thank God that I'm not dumb enough to say racist shit on the internet.
Yeah, wrong and dumb, you know?
Wrong, dumb, and loud.
Wrong, dumb, audacious, and loud. And not the kind we like. That was Conclave. Conclave was the audacity we enjoy.
Period.
No, what a year it's been. What started out as a mere Dune 2 phenomenon has turned into what I call a shit show.
Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this.
No, what is it, 97? What God.
Yo, for real, I thought Harvey Weinstein was behind bars. Why are we still having these Oscars dramas? Like, have we learned nothing?
Well, I think I just want to shout out Adrian Brody for fully cucking him, though, in front of us all. Unfortunately, though, bringing Harvey Weinstein's ex-wife to Oscars 2025, I think, has slightly cursed it. So, yeah, we have his ex-wife shadow looming.
I didn't even know this. You're bringing new tea into the equation.
If this wasn't the year of twinks cucking us all, between Adrian Brody cucking Harvey Weinstein, I would have to give him the gold award, but silver goes to Nosferatu, the ultimate twink, skin and bones, literally. And then
Nicholas Hoult never stood a chance.
Never. It is, not height isn't everything.
I've been saying, I'm a Zendaya out here looking for my Tom, or Thomasine.
It's the year of the twinks. It's Tom Holland getting engaged to Zendaya, Mike Feist cucking Josh O'Connor in a movie, even though they're both technically twinks-ish. Although I think Josh O'Connor actually fits more of the description of Otter. I've thought about this a lot.
Oh.
Challengers got snubbed. So,
bitch, let's start there.
Are we going to dive in? Are we going to? We're doing it. We're doing it. Yeah, Challengers, egregious snub, especially for score. People just don't like tennis being sexy.
We can't have sexy tennis. We can't have bisexual love triangles. I don't understand what's happening. I thought this movie would have done so well at the Oscars. I thought for sure we were getting a nom for Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for the score alone. I thought Luca might sneak in there. I thought we were getting something for writing. I thought either Josh O'Connor and Zendaya were getting nominations, maybe even all 3 leads. Nothing.
Not a goddamn thing. And
0.
I agree with... I thought the same thing. I saw it 4 times in theaters because I
saw it 3 times. That's why I fuck with you.
Dude, we were born to be twin flames. So this is and then so if anything, score and then maybe song for compress repress. I guess compress, whatever. But I just say it how it's spelled. But I was shook. Those slid through the cracks, especially score, even though that is, do we agree it's hands down the best score of the year?
100%. It's 100%. I don't understand what we're doing as a society. And Trent has been nominated multiple times. I think he's won. Didn't he win for The Social Network? What are we doing?
Soul. Remember Soul?
Yeah, oh my God, I haven't seen Soul, but I know the music.
Soul depressed me because I watched it on Christmas in quarantine because that's when it came out. But it was really good. I mean, it's a really good movie. But
I'm definitely gonna check it out.
That score is great. But he won with Jean-Baptiste. I remember it's the team, right? Resner and Ross, right?
Ross, yeah.
Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Those guys, and so they've won and I think they've won it even after that. If I'm not mistaken, I should fact check that at some point. But
by the way, warning: there's gonna be almost no fact checking on this show. So if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you.
You know what?
We're not professionals.
I'm kidding. Don't. I'm not on it.
I am also not on Twitter.
Drag me. No,
don't bother.
They've at least got 2. I know that for sure. And I thought they were going for, if not a third, a fourth. And they got so overturned by like Conclave, which rocks. I'm not gonna lie, that score rocks. But then The Brutalists, like everybody's like foaming at the mouth for that score, even though it's got some horns doing one thing when the Statue of Liberty's upside down. And I'm just like, yeah,
that was it for me. That was the peak. And that was like 2 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, that was the peak for me too. I loved the opening. I loved the beginning of when they reunite when she's in a wheelchair. That was really sad.
Yeah.
And that got me. But then everything else, I was just like, okay,
get it out of here. The Brutalist is one of my least favorite, most nominated nominees this year. Another one I wanted to touch on was Emelia Perez. And you're an Emelia Perez defender. And I need you to...
Well, time has passed. Okay.
Not you trying to distance yourself.
Listen, I couldn't have guessed where we would end up when I had that take. No, listen, I'm more courageous than that.
Walk it back.
Okay, earlier in my life, aka like 5 weeks ago, it was like my number 5. Probably longer than 5 weeks, let's be real. It was my number 5 of the year. And I had a blast because I love weird-ass musicals that are on the verge of being stupid, but are actually, like, have sincerity in it. Fair. So, little did I know it was translated with ChatGPT or some shit. And then on top of that, it's like,
you can
sucks. Yeah, you can. I thought that was kind of, like,
charming.
Dude, I'm a theater. No. Not charming. Let's not go crazy. No, I just thought it was like the point. And I was like, all right, I kind of get that it's absurd. I like weird shit. And then on top of that, it's France going bananas, which, listen, when has France not been so politically incorrect about everything?
Oh, boy.
So I was kind of, I was like, all right, fine. But then Carla sucks. And that is, speaking of the best memes of the year, my entire Carla presence is the meme of Tyra Banks going, "We were rooting for you. How dare you? You see all of these people here, they all wanted you." Oh my God. I'm sure that's how the Oscars feels about her too, but she sucks. I thought she was great in the movie, and then she just ended up being a trash person, and now I don't care how she was in the movie. It's like, get her out of here.
Exactly.
She was potentially going to win, too. Like, it was her, Demi Moore, and Mikey Madison in a little
like a three-way, like, race,
100%. And then she just, like, ate absolute shit deservedly. And that's probably the height of the controversy this year, right?
For sure. But, I'd say, like, if we're looking at, I just jotted down a few Oscars controversies, and I think you found some new ones as well, because there's literally so many.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And I'm sure by the time this episode comes out, even though we're recording this only a week before the Oscars, I'm sure there's going to be more. It's an absolute disaster.
Terrible.
Off mic, I think before we had started recording, you had mentioned something that I really want to reiterate here. What are the PR teams doing? You're not doing your job.
Clearly nothing. Clearly not a goddamn thing.
How are you not checking tweets? How in the year of our Lord 2025 are we not going through someone's social media before we put them up on the biggest stage in Hollywood for one of the biggest awards, if not the biggest award you can win in Hollywood?
not to mention a front runner.
A front
Amelia
runner.
Perez won the Golden Globe for Best Comedy or Musical. An
Oh,
egregious win.
over Wicked.
Over Wicked, over Honora, which,
Insane.
by the way, speaking of twinks cucking, Honora is cucking the shit out of everything, and it deserves to. But we'll go back to that. But it won over I believe it was The Substance, Honora, and Wicked were the 3 comedy or musical options in the Golden Globes nominations that ended up going over to the Oscars race, the big Oscars race of Best Picture. And it was cut back to Golden Globes night, right? We had The Brutalist win drama, and then we had Amelia Perez win comedy. Usually it's then determined that that's the race. Now,
right.
Obviously,
I want to say, 5 days later, though, that went out the fucking window. Days. For both of them, I fear. Both of them, because we know there's
100%.
an AI controversy with The Brutalist as well on multiple fronts. And I feel like these 2 frontrunners went from like a sure thing to like middle bottom. Middle for Brutalist. I'd say bottom for Amelia Perez at this point.
110%. And Amelia Perez still cracked out with 13 Oscar nominations, which is so embarrassing. Record. It is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I wouldn't have given it that when I liked the movie.
She said, even 4 weeks ago when I was a fan.
I wouldn't have given it 13, man. That's insane. Like,
I agree. I actually wrote down what other movies have surpassed 13 nominations ever. In nearly 100 years of the Oscars, there's only been 3 movies ever that have surpassed 13 nominations, which Amelia Perez has. So we've got Titanic, of course, La La Land, which makes sense, Naked Eve from 1959, which I've never seen, but those are the only 3 movies in history that have...
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that third one. No way. Yeah. That's crazy.
And it's them and then Amelia Perez.
Yeah.
How did this happen?
That's embarrassing, and I guess a lot of people like French shit.
I was just going to ask, what do you think it is about this movie that people are... Let me put my glove back on for this. What?
You have the great Wicked colors, by the way, green and pink.
Oh my god, I did
killing it. Dude, you killed it. You're killing it.
Oh my god, I didn't even plan that, but I am repping Wicked tonight, which, you know, I'm happy to do so.
You're holding space. I'm holding his finger. I'm holding his finger.
I'm holding space.
We're
for
crying.
Wicked. Listen.
I'm in queer media.
It was, as am I.
As a Bronco Henry specialist, I invented queer media.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was my Ariana Grande impression.
Bronco Henry jumped a horse over a horse and invented queer media. So. Listen, I'm kidding.
Bronco Henry invented the Oscars, actually.
He did it.
So
yeah. He got 15 nominations.
Yo. Listeners, you haven't heard our episode yet. I'm gonna explain right now what's happening here. Halley and I are making jokes about an episode that hasn't aired yet. You're getting a sneak peek of what's gonna be on our Power of the Dog episode. So we're also giving you a week to do some homework on that. It's on Netflix. I'm teasing an episode within an episode because marketing. That? But
we can do marketing.
We can market. Firms. We can do PR marketing. Why can't y'all? But anyway, back to the PR of Amelia Perez.
Oh Lord.
People at Netflix really botched this whole campaign because they thought because Carla Sofia Gascon is a trans woman that she would automatically be unproblematic. And I'm here to tell you, as a society, we have to stop. We have to stop thinking people are good just because they're queer. We have to. Let it go.
Queer people will tell you that first.
100, exactly. We are here today, hand in hand, holding space.
I got you. Holding your virtual finger. Jesus.
We are holding space to tell you that just because she's trans doesn't mean she's not a piece of shit racist. Case in point. It's almost like white supremacy still exists within the queer community.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
Who knew?
Sad because it's true. 100%.
So what we're speaking of awful tweets, what we're without reading, I don't want to give a platform to like Hitler stuff, but like things I never thought I would say in 2025. I don't want to give a platform to Hitler stuff, but what do you think? What do you think is the most egregious content of Carlos Sofia Gascon's very recent, very problematic tweets? We're talking last year.
Question.
Up until like last year, she was yapping away about literally every minority group, including ones she's a part of.
Yeah, literally all of them. Good job. You got them all. It's like how The Simpsons, which I do love, used to just get. They'd be like, "We got everyone." Well, Carla, you you got everyone. I think the most egregious is the George Floyd one was just wild.
Bitch.
I was like, get out of here with that shit.
Oh my God, I've never wanted to punch somebody in the face more.
And then her apology was like, well, I am a part of a marginalized community. I was like, all right,
so
that's
what?
It. We're out. Like, even Zoe Saldana is like, I don't condone this and I don't know what to say. And I'm like, amen, girl. But, oh God, poor, like,
it's like we've learned nothing. It's like we've learned nothing about intersectionality.
No, of course
we just
not.
haven't. This whole turn of events is a great. I was talking to one of my friends about it on the phone the other night. I was like, this is a perfect example of what not acknowledging intersectionality and crossover of marginalized identities, what that does to us as a people, because you didn't think to check her tweets, A, because they're in Spanish, and B, because you just assumed she's a good person because she's trans. So
and I think that's why they didn't do it.
Everybody at Netflix, you don't deserve your jobs. I'm sorry. Get out of here.
You don't deserve the Oscar this year.
You had
I say it, the most,
you had almost a year to fix this, and no one ever looked. So that's the biggest controversy I think this year. Is definitely that. But there's some other ones I wanted to ask you about.
Yes.
Did you see that there's a little bit of a category fraud discussion that's happening again? This kind of comes up every year.
Again?
Yeah. So this year, there's like a bit of category fraud accusations for both Kieran Culkin and Zoe Saldana because they're both in supporting.
And they're both gonna win.
Probably. And they're both kind of the leads of the movies.
Listen.
How do you feel about this?
This happens every year.
Every year.
Naming a movie a name that is a character does not make the character a leading character. Now, we have a lot of examples. Listen, I almost don't even think about this anymore because we've had so many examples of category fraud that it's kind of insane to just even try to make sense of anything. But it also can sometimes, I'm not going to give performances that maybe wouldn't have otherwise won a win.
And that's why people do it. That's why people decide.
And listen, I can't lie. I'm a little bit in that camp where I'm like, get the win. Like, if it's a good performance, get the win. I just think it's a smart.
A win is a win.
A win is a win, and it's a smart messaging and strategy. Like, I think it's good in that use. But that being said, yes, it's egregious. Yes, we can yes, it's not true. But a good performance should be awarded. And if there's a way to work smarter, not harder, I'm kind of for it. Now, that being said,
okay, I respect your game.
Because
at the end of the day, this is a game.
Person.
This is a competition.
Most of these people, in terms of a performance, I'm not talking in terms of like a persona or a character. Most of these people deserve a win at all, which is why they get a nomination. I know that sounds naive of me to say, but actually in the past, I will say probably since Parasite, we've had pretty good years now. The COVID year is its own thing, but we've had pretty good deserving lineups of of performers and designers and, movies, honestly, that have
I'd
gotten...
agree.
I think we've had pretty good years. I know people want to talk about how we're not in the 90s anymore. Okay, great. Oh no, Shakespeare in Love isn't going to win. Like, we pretend the 90s were this amazing decade of movies, which it was,
we do.
but we pretend the Oscars of the 90s is the greatest shit to ever, stink. And
oh my God.
But
that's such a good point. And there's so many examples to finish your point, there's so many examples of the same shit going on back then. You bring 100%. Up Shakespeare in Love over Saving Private Ryan, and there was all the same kind of beef and category fraud and really cutthroat competitions and running certain actresses in supporting rather than lead because the competition was less strong. This kind of thing has always gone on, but I think maybe it's because of social media and because of the constant churn of news that it seems more prevalent nowadays. But it's probably not.
I agree. And and something else I was going to add is I think the Oscar ceremonies were better in the 90s. So we pretend the Oscars were better. And that's just not true. The ceremonies were 110% better. These past ceremonies have been utter trash, except for potential. I don't know. Kimmel's okay. I hated when there was no host. There needs to be a host.
Oh, I hated that.
There's no point in not having a host. I don't want to listen to a bunch of presenters talking about how great movies are. We're already here. You already have my love. I already watched all of these movies. I want to just hear from a bunch of actors about how much they love the nominees. Like, I love when the 5 ladies and gentlemen come out and they say, "Oh."
That was my next question. I was actually going to ask you how you feel about certain hosting styles and presentation styles, because I actually loved, maybe it is a little bit of a circle jerk, it's a little bit of an ass kissing, but so is the whole awards.
Give it to me.
Give it to me.
That's
what I'm here for.
I didn't come here to not get that.
We come to this place for magic.
We come to this place for you to kiss your own ass and talk about movies.
I'm
just
here.
Talk about the movies. My biggest pet peeve, I love this question. Thank you so much for asking, because I have so many opinions. But my biggest opinion is hosts need to watch the movies. I hate the jokes when they get up there and they say, "Ha ha, I didn't even watch these things and I'm here." You didn't watch this, not because it's important, but because why are we here? Then
also,
why are you here?
That's such a good point, because even if you're going to be snarky about it, if you watch the movies, guess what? You can make better jokes about the movies.
Every joke should be at the expense of the movie. Just make fun of the movie.
Do your homework. Come correct.
To be making fun of, everything should be a deep cut. Now that we have the internet, you can do deep cuts. You can talk about really stupid subplots, and you can give spoilers at this point, because
specific
we're getting the
characters
award.
Or certain accents come out in a costume from one of the movies as a nod to it. Where is the research?
Do it all. Nothing's precious. Get it all out there. Don't.
I agree.
But in a way that shows you know what you're talking about. I have such a pet peeve, and of course, God bless him. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but Joe Coy, my brother.
That's who I was thinking of. Oh my God, that's exactly who I was thinking of when he was that last? What was that last?
It was last Golden Globes. It was not the
Globes.
Oscars. Kimmel did a much better job. I believe he was the Oscars host last year. And
it was Joe Coy I was thinking of. Holy shit!
My guy did not. He went the route of, I'm going to pretend
I've never seen a movie before in my life.
Yeah, he's pretending he's punching down. And the thing is, here's the problem. There's no way to punch down. There is a way to punch with more it's almost like when you insult someone. You can't insult someone in a way that makes you look stupid. You got to insult someone in a way that makes you look way too smart, to the point where they're uncomfortable.
That's what I'm saying. I love a well-researched insult. If you're going to be mean to me, at least be mean to me on a personal level. I'm so serious. I would rather you take the time to go research all of my failures in life and then come back and be like, "Bitch, remember when you dropped out of college twice?" I'll be like, "Yeah, I did do that."
You'll be like, "What?" It's like Nardwuar. Have you ever watched Nardwuar?
Yeah, exactly. I want the Nardwuar of insults. I want the Nardwuar of movies hosting the Oscars. I think Conan O'Brien is going to be a much, much, much better host. I think his team of writers, his research, his knowledge of pop culture. I think Conan, he's been my favorite late night host my entire life. So
he's my favorite late night host. We are the same. This is I'm holding your fingers with both my fingers.
I've loved him since I was like 3 years old. I think late night with Conan O'Brien started when I was like 3 or 4. This is like early 90s. I've been watching it since I was literally a toddler. He's my favorite.
He's my number one guy, and he always will be, because he does the thing is he's so smart that he's stupid. And it's like, that's what the Oscars are. They're so smart that they're stupid. And a lot of times they're not even so smart they're stupid. They're just dumb. So you gotta just be a cartoon. Like, that's my flavor of Oscar hosting. Now, Billy Crystal used to do that with like the songs.
Yes.
I know he's like the
musical numbers. Yeah,
he's a lot, but like at least he did the homework. At least he was referencing stuff and doing parody songs. Like, I like when music is incorporated. I'd rather
100%. Commit to the bit.
Perform music from the movies. I know we don't always love Diane Warren's songs.
They're not doing it this year.
I know. I'm pretty pissed. I understand why. It's because Amelia Perez is going to win, and it's also because apparently, I think it is, man.
That music is terrible.
It had one good okay, I think it had one good. I think it had two.
Please
good
don't
songs.
say penis to vagina. I will kick you off of this pod.
No, I'm not. I'm not too insane here, but I do think there's one song where she's talking to the doctor, and I actually in another life, I actually found it very moving, and again, it was different
when
times.
She goes to the Israeli doctor who's like
the doctor, yeah. Oh God, he is Israeli. Oh God. God, this movie just said.
Oh, you mean you like the Israeli doctor, Halley?
Well, no, I'm just laughing because everything's
a landmine. Everything's a landmine.
They said, what if we did every landmine and just went to town, baby?
Put it in one movie.
There's just no escaping. There's no escape. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
You know what? This is karma. You deserve this, you guys. You deserve it. Dead. Anyway, the other song is the one that's, I think, it is the good one, is the one that's going to win, I think, which is El Mal, a terrible name for a song, but El Mal, which is her
dancing in the street number?
No, on the tables.
Oh, at the like press conference, that like awards gala thing.
Correct.
Very meta. Very meta.
I was going to say, the fact that this is one of the only wins it's going to get about how hypocritical and bullshit this all is actually kind of cool. IMO. What a legacy.
What a good point. And you led me right into my next question, which was going to be about the music, but we can move on ahead.
Slay.
We are killing it. So,
we're killing it.
Non sequitur, but there's 2 actresses who are nominated for Best Actress this year who have blackface controversies. What do you think of that, Halley?
I can't believe in the year 2025 I had to type blackface controversies into my fucking search bar.
You're on a watch list now. I'm so sorry. Thank you for doing your research.
You're welcome. Listen,
scrub your search bar.
I'm an ally. It's fine. Fuck it. I don't care. Listen, this is the work. So
and that is how you ally. If
you're
work.
a real ally, I want you to type blackface into your search bar, and I want you to show me that. Show up, okay? Show up. I'm so sorry. If we can't use any of this, I understand.
We're using all of it. We're using all of it.
Good. Oh,
you thought I was editing this episode? I'm not.
I love comedy. This is why I live. This is fantastic. No, I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, 2 blackface fucking controversies is
Two,
Fantastic,
bitch.
you guys. Well, and I saw Zoe Saldana apparently wore a fake nose. Great. I say, oh, God damn it. I didn't even know she played Nina Simone in a movie. So apparently,
she did.
Did you know that it got like, I think it got 2% on Rotten Tomatoes. So that's bad.
Well deserved.
Well deserved 2%.
Listen,
And
because
then
of the
Fernando
way
Torres is like,
yes,
I love
the Brazilian nominee
people,
for
yes.
I'm Still Here.
Yes, which was a very, again, we were all rooting for you. Like
we were rooting for you.
And Brazil Twitter, shout out to you guys. Talk about good
exhausting.
PR. Exhausting, but effective.
They're not exhausting. All right, I take that back. Relentless.
No. No, listen, it's all of it. And they at least did the job. They they rallied around their lady, and I love to see it. However, she also was like, we didn't know about blackface in like the 2000s in Brazil. And I'm like,
you definitely did, babe. There's not
I wasn't ready for again in the century of the 21st, someone to be like, we didn't know. And I'm like, okay.
We're still listening and learning. I'm like, babe, you've never once listened or learned.
We're still listening and learning. Is with
I'm tired.
Just in a comedy, in a comedy brain, we are listening and learning is the most insane response I've ever heard in my life.
Because what the fuck does it even mean?
Because we are listening and we are learning. Well,
right, but like maybe don't do it. What about
mean?
What about the action part? You're listening and learning, but what are you doing?
The wrong fucking thing. The opposite of what you do if you did the right thing. Insanity. Oh man, so that sucks.
Oh boy,
that sucks because again, I was rooting for you. However,
we were all rooting for you.
I will also say, don't love that all the this is a separate thought, okay, totally separate thought. But don't love that the only controversies people can dig up are for all the actors of color. That's some white people doing that. Some
it kind of is. I
progressive fucking white people pulling that shit. So good job, guys. I
did bring that up to one of my friends. I was like, it's pretty much only the like Hispanic and Latin and Black nominees that this seems to be happening to. Not Colman Domingo though. He said, not me though. He said, I'm perfect.
He is perfect. And you know what? He is perfect.
He said, keep me out of.
He's the king. He is the king. I've loved him since he was on Broadway in 2008 with a show called Passing Strange.
Oh wow.
That's a deep cut, but that's my guy. I love him. And Spike Lee filmed it. And thanks to Spike Lee, I could watch it on YouTube.
Whoa, great poll.
Mr. Spike Lee.
I did not know that. So yeah, check that out on YouTube. I can put that in the show notes, actually. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's the best. And he was a star then, and he's a star now.
Yeah, I love him.
2 back-to-back nominations.
Yes.
Love it.
What was last year's? Was it
Rustin? He played Byron Rustin.
That's right. I didn't see that. Which
I saw bits and pieces. Last year was just tumultuous, but not like Oscar wise, but
like personally.
Personally.
Respect.
Personal.
Hey, look it. You're here now.
I'm here now. This year is tumultuous in the best way. So listen.
Oh my God.
Karma is a cat.
So who are we throwing our support behind for all of these categories? Because I actually filled
let's talk about it.
Yes, I voted in the Revisionist Almanac 2024 Oscars ballot. Shout out to Andrew at Revisionist Almanac, which is great film podcast where they basically go back through. Actually, you would love it. It's an Oscars podcast, and they go back through every year all the way back. I'm talking to the beginning of the Oscars and like revise the nominees and wins for each year of movies.
I love it.
Very, very, very in depth. But great. And he sent out an Oscars ballot to all of the fellow film podcasting community.
God bless you.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. I filled mine out, so I'm just gonna run through the categories, and you can tell me what some of your like favorites are in each
I'm ready.
one. Okay. So for Best Supporting Actress this year, we have Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez, and Ariana Grande for Wicked. Who's your pick for Best Supporting Actress?
Unfortunately, I have to go with Zoe Saldana. I know
She's my number 2.
She's the only thing I think is really fantastic about Amelia Perez.
She's excellent in that movie. A movie I hated, I still gave her number 2 for, she's fantastic. If there's any reason to watch Amelia Perez, it's definitely Zoe Saldana. If there's any reason to not watch it, it's
Carla.
It's Carla, but it's also
Selena Gomez.
It's Selena Gomez. What is she fucking doing?
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I hated. I mean, I don't know, man.
Are you okay?
I'm not Mexican. Can you tell I'm not Mexican?
Oh my god!
I fully admit I don't know what I'm talking about. But...
I'm not either, but I'm fairly confident I speak better Spanish than that. It's fucking girl.
Maybe it's that I know I don't.
That's crazy. Her Spanish is dog shit in this movie. It's actually insane. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, this isn't a joke. Why does she talk like that? And her singing, she's a singer. Even her singing was terrible. I don't know. Selena,
she had the worst songs.
I have no time for Selena Gomez in this movie. Anyway, my number 1, speaking of singing and dancing and just being all around fucking excellent and amazing, Ariana Grande is my number 1.
Yep.
Which is crazy because I can't stand her.
I was going to say we all forgot about her.
No, I didn't.
Controversy. No, see, we didn't, but
we didn't.
Everybody saw Amelia Perez's PR tank and they said, Ariana Grande and SpongeBob are fine. They're great. They're so in love.
I bet you Ariana's team is like, oh, thank fucking God.
You know
they are. Thank God.
You know they are.
Her team is probably like, oh, we don't have to talk about Ethan or home wrecking or her, like, we don't have to talk about any of this. Like, she's just going to float her way down from a bubble to a potential win here. And I'm fully supportive because Wicked, this is a movie I went into thinking I was going to hate. And not only did I love it, I loved Ariana in it. And that's like, if you're going to get me to watch a movie that I didn't want to watch, then liked it, then loved the performances of the 2 main actresses who I don't like. That's how you know it's fucking successful. Can't stand either one of them. Nope.
Wow. Did that start in the
Cynthia,
PR campaign? Or is it because Cynthia was a piece of shit about American flag folks?
It's the latter. Cynthia's been on my shit list for years, since her Harriet Tubman days, because it's like, you want to play Black Americans so bad, but you hate us. You know what I mean? And you have so much smoke for like us as like a people, a culture. There's just so many things going on there where I'm like, why are you always talking shit about Black people? You do realize that you're also Black, or is that your British imperial mind is just like, I'm different than y'all, I'm better than y'all? Because
people don't even know that this again, intersectionality, people don't know anything. People don't even know about these controversies. Like, I didn't know about this until doing this research.
Oh, really?
I knew about like that we did. I mean, listen,
it was a mess on Black Twitter.
Well, there you go. But I prefer Americans playing Americans in every situation. I do think we have a real, again, intersectionality time, but we have a real problem with thinking British actors are hot shit just because they're British.
Yes.
And I think that definitely can apply to all races, all queer, know, all sexualities, all sorts of stuff.
We talk about this on this pod almost every single episode we've done so far, because there's every movie we've covered so far, there's at least one secretly British person in the cast who we're like, how the fuck? What? They're British?
It's in the acting community. It really is. And granted, like, I know Americans have a lot of bullshit, like Meisner technique and whatnot, but the method, fuck that. But but I will say the British training is legit, but at the same time, just because you're British doesn't mean you're a better actor. And there is a lot of that with Broadway. And therefore, that's how... And I got to know Cynthia through her work in Color Purple musical.
Ooh,
and
okay.
she is, I mean, Gotta give it to her. She is
Oh my god, she's an amazing performer.
Phenomenal singer.
I can't
and
deny
a
that at
phenomenal
all.
actor.
Yeah.
And I was very excited when she did get cast as Elphaba because I was like, okay, at least she's a real singer. Like, I
Yes.
just didn't want like Leah Michele. Like, she's a
That would have
real
been a
performer.
disaster.
She's a real actor, but I totally hear everything you're saying about all this, and
It's just such a bummer because it's like, girl,
it's
I want to like
it's a
you,
shit show.
and you
man.
make it so hard.
Both of the girls, both of those actresses. Well,
you make it so hard.
Were you a Wicked? Did you know about Wicked? Oh
I knew.
my God.
Okay, so here's the thing. I knew about Wicked. I'm from upstate, so.
Oh right, of course.
Yeah, and I was in college, or no, I was in high school when Wicked came out. So we took a lot of field trips to Broadway because it's only a 2-hour bus ride to come down to go to Broadway or to be in the city in general. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours from where I'm from originally. So my high school did a bunch of Broadway trips, and I just never went because I wasn't a big musical theater. I'll put it this way. I wasn't a contemporary musical theater fan. I loved like the Rodgers and Hammerstein and like Sound of Music was one of my favorite movies growing up, and I loved West Side Story, you know, like the older the 50s and 60s kind of musicals. And then once we get to like Cats and Rent and Wicked and Book of Mormon, like that whole era, I was so out of.
That is 40 years. You said fuck the last 40 years. I love
it. Basically.
No, listen, I don't disagree. Well, here's the thing. There are gems, right? There are hidden gems in the rough. And
from like Sweeney Todd and back, I'm great.
I love Sweeney Todd.
I fucking love Sweeney Todd.
I love Sweeney Todd. That's a very important musical theater. That's an important piece of work.
Hell yeah. Everything after that, though, I'm just not on board. I hate Rent. I hated Stomp. I hated Hamilton. I'm sorry. I know.
Stomp doesn't count. No, that's fine. No, that's fine. I hear you. Wicked was very important to me because at the time it came out, you have to. I say this to like all as a theater kid. You have to understand there was like nothing. There was Harry Potter. There was Wicked.
No, that makes so much sense.
There was like the old Barbie movies, which love. I'm trying to think if there was anything else, but there was nothing with two leading femmes like that you could like impart your. But it's so complex.
Ooh, that makes sense.
Like, but it was
this
a
was
real
what,
friendship.
2002, 2003?
2003 was when it came out, and it was around Halloween 2003. I know this because I'm a nerd.
Were you in New York at the time, or were you still in Texas?
God, no, I was in Texas, but it made its way down, and like there was nothing like this. Like you didn't. Rent was the last thing like this that I've heard, but I wasn't. I was born the year Rent came out, so I was 8 years old. And suddenly there's this story about it's kind of like a Disney princess thing, but there was no, this was pre-Tangled. This was pre-Princess and the Frog. We didn't have we had like Ariel and Belle and then Jasmine and then like nothing for a hot while.
It stopped for a minute.
It stopped. And so we had Elphaba and Glinda, and that was, and if you were a little girl who was weird, you were Elphaba, or like who like was gay or was neurodivergent in my case. Like there was so much. And then if you were a fun girly girl, you were Glinda. And it was like you really did impart your personas onto that. So, and we've been waiting.
It's generationally like
it is 100%, but we have been waiting for this movie for 20 years.
And how do you feel about it?
Listen, it could have gone so wrong.
Right?
I was relieved that I cried when I cried in the movie. I created two main parts, of course, Defying Gravity.
Yep.
But
Me too.
But specifically the part where she puts the cape on her back and then I get chills thinking about it. It's like
me too.
She said she winks at her, and then there's a profile shot of Cynthia, and she's got the hat, and she is the witch. And I just burst into tears because I was like,
got
that's
butterflies.
It. We did it. We got there. Like it's like how I imagine a bunch of bros felt when like Iron Man or something came out. Like it was like we did it. Like there was this collective.
The first time Nick Fury comes out and says, "I'm putting together the Avengers."
Yes, 100%. Like that. This
is Avengers for queer theater girls.
Like you forgot. Like you wanted it to be good so bad that you were like, "We did it." And then I cried when they did the little dance, which, by the way, the score is nominated. I think
at the
for
school
that
dance.
part.
I love that.
And in the musical, it's not done like that. It's done in a very silly, almost funny, like not like silly, but funny way where they become like, haha, we're friends now. This was, I didn't expect this to be sad and like a real bullying moment or whatever. Like, and so when she starts crying and then I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Wicked completely won me over.
It's a weird ass fucking piece of IP. Like the whole like university thing is so fucking weird. And the animals talking is so fucking weird. Like it's weird.
Listen, by the end of that movie, I didn't give a fuck, Halley. I was like, all right, I'm in. When's part 2?
If you feel the emotion at the last part, that's what the whole thing was for us, because we would hear the song. We'd hear the song on like the radio or whatever, and we'd be like, what is that? What is happening when they're singing this? And then we, if we were lucky, we got to go to the theater.
So it was in your imagination first.
Absolutely, because I was a theater kid who couldn't go to the theater all the time. So I was the cast recording girl.
Yeah, and I'm like the opposite. I was like such close proximity to Broadway, and I was like, I don't care.
No, what a cool thing. No, that's so cool.
I was like, I don't even care. I'm not going.
That's fine. Dude,
Wicked's stupid.
And you're not.
I was wrong.
A lot of people felt that way. No, you weren't out of it. I think they've kind of re-won my heart despite their like bullshit. Sorry, we were going through the categories.
Yeah. Right. Big tangent there. Best Supporting Actor.
Let's go.
All right, so for Best Supporting Actor, we've got Yura Borisov for Enora, Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. Who's your Best Supporting Actor this year?
It's Kieran Culkin. He's gonna win, and he should win.
Ooh, I had him
as number 2.
I had him second to last.
Whoa!
I know. Jump scare. I listen. I'm not convinced. There's something about his performance that it was so big. It kind of took away. I felt like it was very distracting, is how I'll put it. It was a very big performance, and I'm kind of sometimes allergic to that just as an audience member, I don't always like a big, screamy, shouty kind of performance. I'm not the type of person who sees, like, I'm a little, when, like, Julianne Moore is, like, screaming and crying and, like, snot's coming out of her nose and she's, like, doing her thing, I'm kind of like, all right, girl, can you fucking relax? Like,
sorry, I just had a blackout where I went to her scene in Magnolia, and I
don't
just
you call me
lady? Don't you call me lady? I come to you. I do you.
Yo, it works in Magnolia, but she's very prone. Okay, I'll tell you where it doesn't work. May December. Oh my god. I fucking hated that movie.
Yeah.
I hated it.
I was lukewarm.
Yeah, but those types of performances, I'm like...
Great writing, weird movie.
It just irritates me sometimes, and I felt like it was a little too much of, like, the Kieran show, and it was a little too big, and it was a little too similar to, like, Roman in Succession, which I love.
You're not wrong.
But I'm like, it's kind of just a continuation of that kind of vibe, and it took me out of the movie a lot. I liked A Real Pain, but I feel like I maybe would have liked it more. I can't believe I'm saying this. He's one of my favorite actors, but I did not enjoy what he was doing in A Real Pain. So I had him at number 4. My number 1 for Best Supporting Actor is Yura Borisov in Enora.
He is my number 2.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I see. All right.
I think he's my favorite.
I loved what he did in that movie.
He's my favorite, but this is so weird to say because what does this even mean? But he's my favorite, but I thought Kieran was the best. And knowing, when you just see someone who's really good at something and you're like, you just did it. You did the thing you're really good at and you did it perfectly. That's how I feel about Kieran. So
I see. Like, he is doing his Kieran thing very well, but he's still just doing his Kieran thing.
Yeah. Like I can't, it's almost not fair. Because everybody else is doing a performance. I would argue.
Okay, see,
And he's being himself.
Yeah.
And for some reason,
do I think it's fair that he's basically going to win the Oscar for playing himself? You know, I don't love that. I feel like it's not a stretch.
Chameleon?
It's kind of, yes. I prefer Chameleon. I prefer maybe something a little more subtle. And I'm getting neither from that performance. So it just
no, that's a
for
flavor.
some reason, yeah, it just wasn't hitting for me this year. And my number 2 was, shockingly, even though I didn't enjoy this movie that much, Guy Pearce in The Brutalist.
He
terrifying.
Is great.
So, like, he made my stomach turn. Like, every time he was on screen, I was like, oh my God.
Which is what the assignment was.
Oh, 100%. See,
like,
that is a chameleonic, like, great performance. He does go big. He does go big sometimes. But it's just big enough.
A non-American playing a fantastic...
I know.
A fantastic American
I forget he's Australian all the time.
He's Australian.
Yeah.
And he nailed the American bullshit.
He's been nailing it since Memento, you know?
Yes, he has.
25 years of me being like, he's Australian? Every time.
The original Nolan boy.
The OG Nolan boy. Did you see his interview he did recently where he was like, oh, I loved working with Christopher Nolan. I thought I was going to be like his guy. And then somebody at Warner Brothers like hated me or just had it out for me. And I was never up for any Christopher Nolan movie ever again.
Well, listen, it's time because now
it's time.
Nolan said, fuck you, Warner Brothers.
Yeah, he's with Universal now.
Come to Universal, guy.
I would love for them to team up again. I think he was one of the perfect Nolan boys. And you're right, he's the OG Nolan boy before Christian Bale.
Get in the Odyssey.
Before
Get
Leo.
in the Odyssey.
Yeah,
they're casting.
Everybody in Hollywood is in the Odyssey. Why not Guy Pearce?
Why are they doing the most boring book? Okay, anyway, moving on. So
if my
boring.
English teacher is listening to this, I'm sorry. I love you.
I'm sorry. It's so boring. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite, but I think I'm really happy to see the Guy Pearce like redemption era. I think he fully deserves it.
Absolutely.
He's fucking fantastic in this movie. I just saw LA Confidential for the first time a few weeks ago. It blew my fucking mind. It blew me away. He's such an underrated actor, and I don't know why he's made such poor career choices over the years, or if it was just a circumstance of this is what he was being offered, but oh my God, Guy Pearce's IMDb is so tragic and strange, and I'm really glad he got to shine again in high quality work in a really excellent role. He deserves it.
100%.
Justice for Guy Pearce.
Justice.
Best Actress. I have.
Oh, here we go.
Oof, this one's tough. But I think I went with my heart on this one. But there's 2 that are really strong for me. So we have Mikey Madison for Honora, Carla Sofia Gascon for Emelia Perez. We might as well just put an asterisk next to that
one.
Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. Who do you have for Best Actress?
This is so hard because
I know this one was hard.
I want Mikey, but I also want Demi. I think I have Demi.
Those are my 1 and 2. I have Demi at 1 and Mikey at 2.
Mikey was my favorite female performance of the year.
You know what it is?
About that, but yeah, it is. It is.
I'm usually not a sucker for the quote unquote "It's Time" award.
No, me too.
I hated that Jamie Lee Curtis won for being in Everything, Everywhere. What is that movie called?
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Yeah, that one. I hated that she won an Oscar for that. She was in it for maybe 10 minutes, not even, and wasn't really doing a lot.
I was pro Angela Bassett that year, and
100%.
But I will say she was my number 2, so I wasn't. If you
I'd
rewatch
put her in the middle, yeah.
If you rewatch that movie, it does not work without her. I can't believe I'm even saying that.
Okay. I've only seen it one time, so I could definitely do for a rewatch.
Again, going back to like category fraud, but like sometimes supporting performances to me sometimes are, did you pull off the world of the movie? And like,
Mm.
if you made us believe in the world of the movie, if you're a reason that is the it's actually why I think Zoe should win. If you're the
Oh,
reason that
good
this
connection there.
works, yeah, I guess. If you're the reason this works at all, I think you get like, it's almost like if you have a bad script, like you get bonus points in my brain. Like that's a hard assignment, is to pull off the world of something. And I think, I
that's
also
very
think it's why,
convincing.
like,
That's very
thank
convincing
you.
because I
Thank
also
you.
do really respect an amazing performance in a poor movie, and that's why I have Zoe so high on my list for best supporting. I totally see that argument. Yeah, for best actor, we have Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice.
Oh, good performance.
Love him. Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown. That's like King and Prince Twink right there.
It's the battle of the twinks. Yes, you know, this is why we are soulmates. Oh my God, I've been thinking about this all year. Go ahead.
You see the vision. You see the vision.
Yes.
Then we have Ray Fiennes for Conclave.
Fantastic.
A great performance too. And then Colman Domingo for Sing Sing. This is I think this is maybe the strongest category.
For sure with acting.
Yeah. I loved all of these performances that I've seen. The only one I haven't seen yet is Sebastian Stan, because I have like Trump trauma I'm trying to work through.
Yeah. I've seen the unavoidable Instagram clips, and he is...
Oh, really?
He's great. It's the best Trump performance I've ever seen.
Really?
Which is I can't believe I'm saying it. Because he's young Trump, which is like...
Right.
He
a
gets
different
the
flavor.
advantage of being a different flavor, where you're not like, God damn it, like, fuck my life. Like, I mean, you're still like that, but you're not... It's not Alec Baldwin and SNL, you know what I mean? And so...
Right.
It's hard. It's a hard assignment. Again, it's like, listen, if you can pull off something impossible, that's pretty cool. But my guy, this is if Timothée does not win, that's
my number one as well.
That's my boy.
Big Timmy C.
Big Timmy C. And it could have gone so wrong.
I fucking love him.
I love this man, and he fucking rocks in this movie, and he's singing everything.
Yes.
And he learned how to play the guitar on the set of Dune. And
what a fucking king.
He's our generation's star. He's our guy.
100%. Yeah.
And he's going to be, if he wins, he's going to beat Adrian Brody, again, in a battle of the twinks, for the youngest best leading actor Oscar win.
Beautiful. That was my next point was, Adrian was the youngest best actor winner ever for The Piano at 29. And Timmy is 28 right now, correct?
Yes, he is 28. Yeah.
So how are you feeling about this race? This one, I'm worried. I'm pretty sure it's Timmy, but there's something that tells me not to count out Adrian Brody. I have him at number 2.
He did just win the BAFTA. I will say,
this one's kind of split for me.
AI aside, he did a great job. Like to stick a landing in a 3.5 hour movie is like no small feat. And he is
right.
One of my favorite critics, David Sims of The Atlantic, said he's the reason the movie works at all.
Blank check,
baby. My boys, my number one guys, my two.
Oh,
friends.
You're a blankie.
I'm a big ass blankie. Oh,
hell yeah!
I am the most insane film girl blankie of all time.
Oh, fuck yeah! Okay.
I've gone to numerous live shows of theirs, and I will say their fandom scares me. They're terrifying. They're a terrifying crowd. But I do have a hat, and I it's my dream to be on that podcast. Anyway,
hell yeah! I'm a big picture sicko personally.
I love the big picture. Oh my God, I love the big picture. I listen to all of it.
How we never talked about this? Oh my God,
this is amazing. This is what I love.
I'm a lord of Letterboxd. Are you kidding me? I got on Letterboxd because of Sean Fennessy. Like that's my fucking guy. That's my guy.
Did you know he was a rap journalist?
That's my unboxing boy. I love him so much. Yes, he worked for Vibe, which I used to read.
He was a rap journalist. He's like the one white guy hanging out with like the ASAPs. Like that's my guy.
No, that was literally him.
Irish twink.
Yes, I love him. Yeah, he's one of my favorites. Wow, look at us. Yep,
I want
me
him to
too.
win so bad. I think he deserves it. Adrian Brody's good, but oh, awards though. I think the SAG award is going to determine who's going to win the Oscar.
Ooh, okay. Oh man.
If Timothée wins that SAG,
Mhm.
I think he's going to win that Oscar.
Mm.
Now, I did get my hopes too high with Lily Gladstone winning the SAG and the Golden
I
Globe.
know.
That broke my heart. That sucked, even though I love Emma Stone, but that
Yeah,
sucked.
same. That was one of the most disappointing wins for me, though. I just,
that
oh my
broke my
God.
heart. So I'm hoping.
Don't even get me started on Poor Things. Oh boy.
Dude. Yeah, not my favorite. I liked it. I didn't love it.
Same.
I liked Kinds of Kindness. But it's weird. I'm weird. But yeah, but dude, it's so split, and like it just depends if he can stick this final landing with the SAG, and then I think we're gonna get a real answer, because the thing is, everybody loves Honora and A Complete Unknown, and I think the AI shit's getting in the way of
I
Brody.
was just gonna say that. I think that he was the front runner, especially right after Brutalist had hit. I think it
100%.
when it premiered, later last year, there was a lot of buzz around Brody as the best actor. And then the AI thing, I feel like that kind of killed his chances a little bit. I don't know how much I know, and I don't know. The thing is, we don't even know how much AI was used to fix his accent. It could have been a minuscule amount, but the fact that that information even came out hurts him, because then people can make the argument that, oh, well, it's not his performance, it's computer enhanced.
I believe it was one part of a voiceover that's less than 2 minutes, but no one cares.
No one's gonna.
Actors don't care about that. Actors are like so against AI right now, which I understand. I'm in that. I get it, but it's like nobody cares how much it is. The fact that, again, where's your PR manager? Don't talk about AI,
dude.
Just don't do it.
The editor of the movie who like completely tanked that interview.
He tanked, man, and he got a nomination. Like, he just should have said nothing. Don't say shit. He wasn't at the cost of this. It's the production designer who, and that AI is actually weirder in a way, but it's like, it's renderings.
Yeah.
The fact that they used AI for renderings, first off, that totally defeats the purpose of this being like,
it's a movie about a designer, but you're using AI to design.
People are, what? Why didn't...
The irony is delicious there. I can't believe that happened.
The irony is insanely good, but the again, where was your managers? Like, what happened? Like,
you made a movie about a designer, an architect, but you didn't make any of the designs.
The raw vision of artists.
And the whole movie is about protecting artists' visions.
God damn it. It writes itself, man, and it sucks, but
the jokes write themselves.
It's not a bad movie. Like, but that's shitty. And that being said, it's like, I do gotta say, like, they were working with $10 million. Give them $1 million more bucks to not have to fucking do this shit again.
Yeah.
Because guess what happens? You lose money because your movie doesn't win an Oscar.
Right.
So
I think it hurt Brody's chances a lot. We got to keep a close eye on this next batch of, when's the SAGs?
This Sunday, from when we're recording.
Oh, gotcha. So by the time this episode airs, we will have a definitive answer on that, probably. Do you know, I wish we would have looked this up. Do you know the like percentage of how many times do SAG winners end up becoming the best best actor, like Oscar winner?
Well, I can tell you recently it's been a big predictor, except Lily Gladstone was a fluke. Like that, like, but that was more of a Poor Things thing than anything else. For some reason, everybody loved that movie going into the awards ceremony. It won so many design categories. So I really think that, similarly to how in the history of the past 5 years, a lot of times the Screenplay awards have predicted Best Picture, not director. It's been Screenplay.
I've noticed that.
Yes. So I think in a similar fashion, the SAG Awards is going to be a huge... Because here's the thing. Honora is dominating right now. Honora's got DGA, PGA, and I believe Writers Guild.
It's on a tear right now. It has won everything I think it's been up for. But only in the last month. This movie was bombing at the awards until February, basically.
Yeah, it was...
It's like a late breaking.
it was an indie darling that now can't. It's the little indie darling that can
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
potentially will. And Mikey Madison just won the BAFTA, so that's something.
mm-hmm.
We don't know. We don't really know how BAFTAs predict, though. I've seen not a lot of
I
consistency.
think it's
with
like
that.
50-50, something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Demi is probably, again, SAG. The two best actor races are the ones to
Mm-hmm,
watch on SAG night, because I
mm-hmm.
really think that's going to be the deciding factor, unless, again, we get to Oscars night and someone really loves A Complete Unknown or something like
That's a good point.
all the design
Yeah,
categories, something like that.
that one makes me nervous. We are going to talk a little bit about design and the below the line categories later on, because
Cool.
one of our sweet listeners, Catherine, had some questions about the below the line nominees as well.
Love it.
But let's finish this up. We've got Best Director.
Woof.
Best Director, we've got Sean Baker for Anora,
Yep.
Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard for Emelia Perez, and Coralie Farge for The Substance. Who's your number one?
I'm so happy Coralie's in there. My number one is Sean Baker. I've been a huge fan of him since Tangerine, and it's his. This is his best. I actually think Tangerine's his best. This is his. I think this is his to lose at this point.
Okay, you're going Sean. I think I have him at 2.
Oh
yes,
wow!
I have Sean Baker at number 2. It's Coralie for me. I'm a substance girly.
I'm a substance girly as well. I
remember that we are one. Okay.
You're what? Respect the balance. Respect it.
Respect the balance. I
that
think
reminds
this movie
me of Respect the Punch every time. Respect the punch. Respect it.
I think that what she's able to do, I think this is only like her second or third movie
I believe
ever.
so.
And what she's been able to do with the budget and with the time and resources that she had, this movie got dropped, I think, by Paramount or Universal. A big studio was like, oh, we don't actually want to do this at all. Like,
yep,
this is too controversial. And they like dumped it onto Mubi, thinking it wasn't going to be a hit, thinking it was just kind of going to get buried on a streaming service. Now Mubi is an Oscar nominee.
Go Mubi.
And not
Mubi,
just
baby.
Mubi, and not just an Oscar nominee. I want to say a 6th time. How many Oscars is this up for? I think 6.
You're absolutely right.
Maybe 5. This is crazy. Like this is my indie darling that could, like Anora
absolutely
is maybe the more obvious kind of version of that, and Sean Baker is a much more popular director, and he's got a lot of like prestige and like heat behind him, and he's so talented. I love the Florida Project.
Great.
Oh my god, I love that movie. He's one of my favorite. Yeah, he's one of my favorites. But there's something about a female directed French weird ass body horror, just streaming movie that is becoming this. This movie is a phenomenon.
It is,
and it's been like 9-10 months of this. It's so fucking amazing to see.
Best memes. I will say this and Nosferatu definitely. You know what? And Conclave. Those 3 guys win the meme Oscar from me. It's a 3-way tie.
Hold up that meme Oscar.
I will say it was getting a little mean on the substance meme zone, where people were comparing older actresses of a certain age to like younger actresses and saying she didn't respect the balance. That wasn't cool. But
I don't like that.
But in terms of creativity, boy, I was like, fuck.
So
dude.
Creative. I know it's grotesque, it's over the top, it's a little messy, but I love that. I have to support my gross girlies. I have to support just me as a person. I feel like there's something about the substance that really spoke to me, especially at this time in my life. I'm in my late 30s, and I'm feeling.
You look great.
Oh, thank you. I'm feeling the time passing by and like moving into that next phase of my life, and just seeing the next generation behind me, and I'm like, oh, you're nipping at my heels.
It's the best way to describe.
I love the story.
100%. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
it's
go
the
ahead.
best way to describe body dysmorphia that I've ever seen in a movie. And Nobody,
100%.
like, a lot of people don't understand the mechanics of what that is because a lot of people think it's a mindset thing. But when, I don't know, I love movies where you can just hold it up as an example and be like, that's what I feel like, or that's what this is. And like, and it doesn't mean you are Demi Moore or you have that level of, you know, because she's so distraught in the film.
It's like an
really,
extreme version of body dysmorphia.
It's the extreme version, but it's like how you could, like, I mean, it reminds me, totally different subject matter, obviously, but it reminds me of how in Get Out, people used to say, like, I was never able to describe the sunken place, and now we have a word for it. Like, I feel like the substance gives us, like...
It gave us, like, the language for...
The language. And that's so fucking important, man. And, like,
exactly.
It's fun, too. And it's still
fun. It's funny. Margaret Qualley. Okay, one of my big snubs is Margaret Qualley for Best Supporting Actress. I
do love her.
She was fucking excellent in this movie. And her and Demi, they're playing the same person, so there is, like, that very subtle crossover in their performances, but they just give a little bit of, it's like Margaret is literally playing Demi's character as if she had, like, her confidence turned all the way up. And
100%.
Demi is playing Margaret's character as if she's this decrepit, old, like, miserable person who's lost all of her confidence and, like, self-love. And they respected the balance, is my point.
They respected the balance.
That was one of my favorite movies of 2024.
Control yourself. God damn it, so good. And then
love
she's
you,
like,
Maggie.
The camp of just her fucking...
So campy.
Breaking the chicken and being like, I made you. It's so funny.
Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, my best director is Coralie Farge. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but...
No, I think you nailed it, actually. And that's when France does movies right.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you do
French
it right,
women.
guys.
French women, I'd say, are doing movies right.
There you go.
Jacques Audiard, I don't know.
You couldn't be more correct about that. Goddamn.
So the big race, the big one, we've got Best Picture.
Here we go.
It's 10 nominees, so bear with me, but I'm gonna read them all out. We've got Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. Any snubs, first of all, besides Challengers, which I agree with you, because I have a big one here.
I have a big one. Nosferatu, man.
Ooh, yours is Nosferatu.
Nosferatu rocked. It had no reason to be as good as it was.
It was so good. It was so scary, though. I'm such a coward. That movie scared the dog shit out of me.
It's scary. It's a scary movie. I thought it was beautiful, and
it was gorgeous. I love Robert Eggers. He's one of my favorite directors.
If you can, but they put The Substance in, and I knew we weren't getting another horror in there.
Yeah, the Oscars hates horror movies. Sing Sing is mine. That's my number one. I was like, where the fuck is Sing Sing in this category? It's insane. That movie had me bawling by the end of it.
100%. Colman Domingo, I think, was the Sing Sing. He's like the ambassador,
right?
In a way.
And the other big snub is Clarence Macklin in Best Supporting Actor.
But they got
beautiful
script nominations, which
they did.
And I know we love acting, and I know acting is important, and I know that rep is important, but the representation of all those guys in the script category, that's gonna change.
Oh my God, stop. I'll start crying again. What?
No, like, that's gonna change the fucking industry. Like,
when all their names came up in the credits, I fucking lost it. Oh my God. I didn't know that they were playing themselves.
I didn't either. And I think that's going to win. I think because it's, I mean, I got to remember, sorry, we're not on that race. I can get to that later, but that's important. And so, you know what? I got to say, I think the legacy of that movie will be about the script and Coleman. And I'm very excited about that.
Yes, and speaking of Sing Sing, there was they also did kind of it's not revolutionary, like it's been done before, but not really at this level. But everybody on that movie took basically an equal pay, and
love it,
including the crew.
Perfect.
Colman
Perfect.
Domingo made the
Well
same
done.
as the editor, who made the same as the director, who made the same as all the other actors. Like, they just took an equal share in the movie, made it for like maybe $2 million or something, $1.5 million, and then
Well
as
done.
much as it's made at the box office and on the aftermarket, on streaming, whatever, they're dividing that amongst all 50, 60 of them equally. And I was like, that's fucking, I want to see more of that in the industry. I want to see more equity for the craftspeople and for the design teams and for editors and for all the behind the scenes camera operators, all the behind the scenes people who never get their shine, they never get their pay. They were just on strike for 6 fucking months trying to get equal pay in this industry and fight the use of AI, which again makes me think that Brutalist has some problems here because of the strikes, and a lot of the topic of the strike was AI. But I just love seeing that pay model in a big time, like Oscar movie. I thought that was amazing that they did that.
Absolutely. It's such a breath of fresh air from
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the narratives of this year.
Oh, Sing Sing, yeah.
Sing Sing.
Sing Sing and like Complete Unknown are just like unproblematic kings. They're like, we're happy to be there. We're just hanging out.
I love that. That's so true.
They're
Unproblematic
like,
kings.
No smoke here.
They're just so happy that they nailed it.
They're
they
like,
nailed it.
Leave us out of it.
We did it. We did
Good
it,
vibes.
Joe. Screaming.
Good vibes only.
I love it. But
So,
my
yeah.
pick for Best Picture winner is Anora.
Uh-huh.
I think it's the best.
Ooh.
I think it is. I loved a lot of these movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if I was, it's not very common. I'm such a fan of movies. I see so much. And it's like to be shocked by what a movie's doing. And it's almost silly to say that because it's like Sean Baker and he's going to focus on sex workers and he's going to talk about the American dream and stuff. But
and
I did
pull
not,
at your heartstrings.
And pull at your heartstrings. But I didn't expect this movie to be so honest, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very honest, I don't mean that in like, he's extremely honest, but I wasn't expecting this movie, maybe because it won the Palme d'Or or
Mm-hmm.
something, where I was like, this must be like a little more fun or a little more like light. And it's actually, I think it's his heaviest film since Florida Project.
I was just going to say the same thing. That's why I brought up Florida Project earlier. It's heartbreaking. It's
brutal.
So raw. It's raw. It's oh my God. All right. So let me say what my imaginary, like, in a perfect world, like, what would I wish is it's Dune Part 2. I'm sorry. This movie I fucking loved. That's
perfect.
my number 1 movie of last year. And I think number 2 is Anora. So
it's a perfect movie.
Yeah, it's like Dune, Anora, and The Substance, and like.
You know what? I was shocked by Dune Part 2 too. I didn't think they'd actually go there.
I was fucking
themes.
Stunned. You want to talk something I saw 4 times in the theater? I'm pretty sure it was. I think I saw Dune Part 2 4 times. I
think I saw it 3.
I couldn't stop watching that movie. I bought it on 4K the second it was available.
There you go.
I love it. I know it's not going to win. That's my like imaginary Best Picture winner, but in reality,
Villeneuve getting snubbed is also egregious as fuck.
Please, Denis Villeneuve deserves better because this man, he is one of the, and I'm not even being hyperbolic. I'm talking Nolan level, Spielberg level. Like, this man has the goods. It. He's there. He's the genre king. He is so excellent at what he does. And I just feel like every award season is like, yeah, you're fine. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the disrespect. It's because he does sci-fi.
It's because he does sci-fi. We haven't gotten there yet. It's like horror, but even horror is getting more respect than sci-fi, which is crazy.
Yes.
Which you could honestly, well, I don't even know. I think of The Substance as almost sci-fi horror, and I don't know why that got in. Like, that's a double whammy. But
yeah.
But
maybe because it's French, I don't know, but I feel like there's a huge stigma. There's a huge stigma against horror, sci-fi, and comedy. And this has just always been the case with the Oscars. They like serious movies. They like, quote unquote, elevated, like pretentious.
Yes.
They don't take things that aren't kind of those big, screamy, shouty adult dramas, period pieces. They don't take other movies outside of that realm seriously a lot of times.
100%.
And I'm including like crime dramas. I mean, look at how they've done my boy Marty Scorsese over the years. Look at how they've done Spike Lee over the years. There's something about genre and like grit and that they're like repellent to. They just don't.
They don't like real examinations of America either. Like
Ooh.
like Scorsese gets sidelined for all of his serious examinations, and then honestly, the only maybe this is why I'm so pro Anora this year is the only it's the I mean, I hate saying this, but it's true. The only reason it's winning is because Emelia Perez ate shit, and the Brutalist is eating less shit but still shit.
Yep.
And you can argue the Brutalist examines America. I don't think it does it in as, no pun intended, brutal of a way as Anora does.
I feel like it's a more shallow read, which there's something about it that screams, like I said, like pretentious kind of like film fanboy, like, aren't I so special and important? And isn't this like the most novel story is like America is bad and like capitalism destroys us? I'm like, yeah, we fucking know. Like, hello.
I want to get my Jewish friends' opinions of it. I'm gonna ask a few of my friends because it's like I want to know what they think. I'm like,
me too.
Is this your grandparents' story? Like, do you feel seen, or do you
does
feel
it resonate? Yeah.
Does it resonate? Is it real? Because, and I'm not this person. I swear I'm not this person. But Brady Corbet and his wife, who excuse me, I don't remember her name. She's Swedish, I believe. They are they're not Jewish. So
no.
And listen,
that was one of the other controversies I forgot to mention about the Brutalist. Yes.
I actually am not the person that thinks like you got to tell your own story. And now I think there are obviously, like, don't be an idiot. Like, don't be an asshole. Don't be an Odiard.
I was just going to say the
don't
other
be an Odiard.
prime example this award season of that is Jacques Odiard making Emelia Perez. Yeah. About a Mexican trans crime lord. You're just like, you are 0 for 3 here, buddy. Like,
man.
You are a straight cis French man.
It's rough. At least he dumped Carla. But anyway, he dumped her so hard. And I respect it. But no, like it's not a never thing for me, but
right.
It is a you got to do it right thing for me. And like,
absolutely,
which you would think is like no shit, but I have no idea. I don't know.
I'm not sure the Brutalist got there for me, but I am also not of the Jewish faith,
the whole time.
and I'm not sure. I'm not comfortable speaking on that aspect of it because I'm just not sure how it's being received. But for me, as another marginalized community, there was certain times where I was like, we get it, bro. Like, we get it. I mean, I gotta watch this man suffer through a heroin addiction and a sexual assault for 3.5 hours. I'm tired.
The heroin stuff was where I was like, this
fucking
feels
miserable.
That felt not real.
It's miserable. And it's like, I felt like he kind of added it in there to be like taken seriously. And I don't like that.
The heroin stuff was my thing. That was too much on the dip on the chip. But I did like aspects that I'm sure resonate. And so it's like I got to do my research. But Anora is so those are done, and Anora is the examination of the American. I would say probably Nickel Boys as well, depending on what
Nickel
theme
Boys
you're
is
looking at.
the one I didn't see. It's the one Best Picture nom I haven't seen yet.
I've seen bits. I like the way it's filmed. I know
it's shot
POV.
From like POV. Yes, the whole thing.
Which I'm here for it. I unfortunately probably would get sick in a theater watching it, so I'm gonna watch it at home. But
that's very fair.
But I've seen clips on the internet, and I respect the hell out of it. I love that director, Mel Ross, and he did a dope documentary called Hale County This Morning This Evening. Really, it's like visual poetry. I'm so
you've seen his prior work.
I've seen the documentary, and it's like
Wow.
it's like a installation, like is the vibe.
Okay.
And
You're a real head.
I am a real head, and
I respect your game.
I love it, and so I get the feel that this is like experimental in that way. That being said, so anyway, but Honora being the one that's creaking through the pipeline, the fact that that's going to win is just, that's why I'm so happy about it.
I think your instinct is correct on that. I'm pretty sure it's Honora. I think, like we said, all the precursors recently leading up to this Oscar award, I think it's Honora, and I'm totally happy with that. I'm actually doing an episode on Honora and Good Time on another a
great double feature.
Right?
Brilliant.
The chaotic New York double feature.
Absolutely. It's a subgenre, and I love it.
Me too. After Hours, oh my God, give it to me.
Yes.
Give it to me.
Yes, our boy. Listen, Marty.
I am a chaotic New Yorker, and I love a chaotic New York story. 100%. I eat it up every time. Just drop me in the middle of a borough and just tell me there's a ticking time bomb and a fucked up character who has to get it together in like a certain amount of time to like fix a problem. I'm in. Yep. Say less. I don't care what the problem is.
Say less.
Like in After Hours, it's literally just like, oh shit, I lost my keys. That's it. I fucking love it. Never.
I love it.
I've never lost my keys in my life.
Oh.
I knocked wood. I did knock wood. But
I love it.
Not relatable. But anyway, I am doing an episode on Sleepless Cinematic of Honora and Good Time next
I can't
month.
Wait to hear it.
I will send you the link when it's ready. I can't wait for you to hear it. As a now chaotic New Yorker yourself.
Oh yeah.
So to wrap this up, I just wanted to go through some of the, I guess, just most nominated movies this year.
Sure.
We've got
Do we want to go through Below the Line at all?
Oh my God, yes. Sorry. Yes, let's go Below the Line, and then we'll just wrap it up with most nominations.
Perfect.
So when we're talking about Below the Line nominees, yes, just in case anyone isn't familiar, what we mean essentially is this is editing, this is costume, this is hair and makeup, cinematography, production design, writing, and then the shorts, documentaries, and animated. So there's basically a whole nother Oscars within itself. We don't have time to get into all of it. But is there any standouts for the Below the Line awards, or just stuff you want to shout out that you loved from last year?
Oh, well, I mean Dune 2 is my number one of the Below the Line. If we're talking
too. I don't think it's gonna win anything. I'm so nervous.
Let me look at visual effects. What are visual effects? You got Dune 2, Better Man, Wicked, Alien Romulus, which rocks, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That's a weird group. I could see Dune 2 taking that. Hopefully not Wicked. I did not like that. That was bad.
Yeah,
even
it wasn't
the
the best.
Was bad. I hate to say
it. It looked very, very like
fake
Disney Plus like TV show.
Oh, you're not wrong. So I think it's gonna get visual. I will say costume and makeup. I really hope The Substance nails makeup.
Agreed.
I loved A Different Man, a movie we haven't really gotten into because it only got the makeup nom.
Talk about that. I have not seen that. So Sebastian Stan could have been nominated for either performance last year. He was in A Different Man and The Apprentice in the same year, and was getting nominated for both for lead actor. My guy, Bucky Barnes, is on the come up. I love Sebastian Stan.
He's lovely.
He deserves everything.
He really
He's fucking great.
He's a great man, and like my opinion of him, like I didn't have really a big opinion of him until he did A Different Man, and then I was like, this guy's showing up for like a movie centering disability and like that, the nuances of that experience in a way where he's a very unlikable. I don't know. It depends on your POV, I suppose, but he could be perceived as an unlikable character. And it is, okay, go with me on this. It's sort of Substance-esque in terms of
I totally see what you're saying.
He wants to be not himself.
And he changes his appearance.
He changes but then the my favorite well, I don't know, but one of my favorite supporting acting performances of the year is Adam Pearson, I believe his name is, and
yes, the English actor,
the British actor, and he comes in and is he cucks his entire life, and he's a total fuckboy, and like a British artsy fuckboy. And I believe one of my favorite tweets of the year was someone said he's basically playing Austin Powers, and that's not wrong. And
whoa, that's what the character is. Oh my god. Okay, that made me so much more excited to see it.
That's what the movie is, and that's such a brilliant, bold, subversive take on that experience. And like, I found it very moving. It replaced Amelia Perez for me as my number 5. So it's like, it's fantastic to me. And
by the way, just for the audience sake, it is available to stream now on HBO Max for anyone who has Max. I just saw it on the homepage yesterday. So
great stuff.
Yeah, definitely check that one out.
And
he did for the other movie. Yes, for this movie. But then got nominated for The Apprentice for the Oscars. I was like, damn.
Slay. Because he kind of did. I think he did that because he was like, do it. I like you guys aren't gonna do it, and then they did it, and I loved it. So I think sound is going to Dune 2. I think makeup's going to The Substance. I think editing is going to, I don't know. I would love it to go to Anora. But I could see it. I could see Amelia Perez getting that one because it's a musical. Musicals are editing machines, so
yeah, I think kind of a dark horse in editing for me is Conclave. I thought the editing in Conclave was brilliant.
It is, and I was actually
the way
they
build tension with it, and it's a movie that is probably impossible to edit because it takes place basically. It's like 80 guys just sitting in a fucking room talking for like an hour.
You gotta nail that shit. Also,
you have to nail that.
The cuntiest movie of the year. In a year where Wicked came out.
No, it's Conclave.
Challengers.
It's Conclave.
Conclave. I've told every gay in my life to watch Conclave. I just want to say that.
100%. It's like, your eminence, may I spill the tea?
Your eminence, may I fuck you up? Oh my god. Your eminence, pop in the vape. Diabolical. God
Love
damn it. Respect. But costume design. Oh man. Probably Wicked. Or Wicked. I think.
Whoa, I didn't know Gladiator 2 got in there for costume design. That's kind of crazy.
That's wild.
Weird. I'm gonna go for costume design. I'm gonna go Nosferatu.
I hope that went. I want Nosferatu to get something.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Cinematography.
I was just gonna say, what do you think about cinematography and also
a great lineup?
Yeah. Cinematography and music I want to touch on.
I did not see Maria.
Me neither.
I don't like those movies that are like, can you believe this woman had a bad life? Like I get it.
I'm tired.
Like I know.
That's exactly how I feel, by the way, about Spencer.
I was gonna say your number one white lady. Did you like Spencer?
I hated Spencer.
Yeah, I liked Kirsten. I didn't like the movie.
I hated Spencer. I wanted to love it so badly. It's my number one white lady. It's one of my favorite fucking film composers who we talked about in Power of the Dog. It's Johnny Greenwood. It's Kristen Stewart, who I've turned around on and I absolutely love now. And I'm still like sitting there miserable for I don't like the whole woman suffering as a genre.
Yeah.
I'm really tired of that. And if you are going to give me women suffering, give me The Substance. Okay?
Yes.
We're past... I'm serious.
Make her back explode.
Make her fucking back explode. Make her face drip down the sidewalk. Give me drama. Give me her teeth falling out of her head.
Oh, great stuff.
Give me the most extreme women suffering, or give me creative, kind of funny, subversive women suffering. But if I'm just going to sit here for 2 hours and watch a woman, like, basically be on the brink of suicide the whole time, I'm sorry, it's not
funny.
And
I wasn't ready.
It's just like, God damn it.
You're not wrong.
Can we move on from that,
Dude, I love this. This take is so good. you're gonna make women suffer, you see. I felt that way about Nosferatu. If you're gonna make women suffer, you better fucking make them make her her tongue go out or something.
Yeah, make her bleed through her eyes. I
Make her
just
eyes
want
go white and her tongue go out. And actually,
give me
I will
something
say,
different.
Lily Rose Depp snub. I thought she was great.
I was on the fence about her. I thought she might sneak in there, but again, the Academy doesn't respect horror. We already know.
No, never.
So for cinematography, who do you think? Speaking of the Academy not respecting horror and sci-fi,
yeah,
I'm torn between Greg
2.
Fraser. Yeah, Greg Fraser for Dune Part 2, or Yaron Blaschke, I believe, for Nosferatu. Yeah. I'm torn between them. I wish it was Dune.
I want it to be Dune. I unfortunately think my number 2, and it's not because I want this to be the case, but it's because I do think musicals I do like seeing musicals awarded for cinematography. I do think Amelia Perez might get it.
It might. Okay, I will give this to Amelia Perez. The cinematography was fucking great. I loved the staging. I loved the staging of all the musical numbers for sure. I love the lighting. Yeah.
I love
great.
I'm glad to hear you say that, because I gotta say that is good. Like,
I love the way it looked.
I hate this movie, but if you're gonna film a musical, do it like that. Like, if you're gonna do it like that. Like, I hate
do
when
it
people
good.
do it where you can see the dancing. Do it where you can see dancers. Like, I hate when you get a close up on a fucking dance number. Like, if you're gonna do that, you gotta do it the way
shoulders. You're like, oh,
yep,
yeah. I would definitely shout out Amelia Perez for that. An
100%.
animated feature film. Did you see any of these? We've
Wild
got
Robot.
We've got Wild Robot, Wallace and Gromit, Memoir of a Snail, Inside Out 2, and Flow. I'm dying to see Flow. I think it just premiered on Hulu, I believe.
It did. My heart can't take animals in danger. I
can't do it. I'm sure you had a great time with the Wild Robot then, because recurring
I didn't know
theme.
what I was getting into. I didn't know what I was getting into. I think the Wild Robot will get it. I think it deserves it. I do. I gotta say though, I'm a big Wallace and Gromit whore.
Me too.
Yes. Oh my God.
Bitch. I know you have to go soon, but let me talk for a second about one of the most devastating experiences of my life, and my friends can attest to this. They were eyewitness to this. Tell me how we were sitting out. We were at like a carnival or something. We're sitting down to eat tacos, having our little cute lunch at I think we're at the state fair maybe or something. Anyway, I pull up my phone and it's just a random Variety article that's like, oh, well, soon the studio, you know where I'm going with this, the studio that's making Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run films, eventually they're not going to be able to make those movies anymore because that clay doesn't exist anymore. And I burst into tears on the spot.
I'm laughing because I would have done this.
Halley, I was
done the same.
inconsolable. I was crying for like half an hour. I couldn't stop.
And were your friends like, that's what you're crying about is clay? And you're like, yes, you don't understand.
Because, oh my God, see, I'm gonna cry again. There's something about finite resources. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. This happened when
incredible. I'm sorry.
There was a time
something about finite resources. Gets me every time. Sorry.
It's such a specific. I know, I'm a fucking psycho. There's something about it when I was in college. Polaroid film became unavailable for like a long time there, and one of my best friends in college, Laura, had a Polaroid camera. I'm gonna tear up because we had like 1 or 2 boxes of film left to like get us through like a year of college, right? So every time we took a Polaroid, it was like the most special and precious and important thing in the world to us. And I'm pretty sure she's still, because the film didn't exist anymore. We were using something that, this is 2006, 2007. You couldn't get it anymore.
That would fuck me up.
I know. We would cry. Like every time we took a Polaroid, we'd be like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Eventually, you know, it got bought by another company. It's back in production, whatever. But at that time, it didn't exist anymore.
We're back.
And it was so special. And that's how I feel about the clay. The clay for Chicken Run.
First off, incredible. Second off, that's a beautiful story. I'm emotional thinking about it.
It's like
Oh my god! And little did you know they would create Feathers McGraw, the
Feathers
greatest.
McGraw.
The
I'm so secretly sentimental that I kind of want to give it to Wallace and Gromit as well, even though I loved the Wild Robot.
everyone loves the Wild Robot, but we cry at fucking Wallace and Wallace and listen. You can make me cry with a robot. I get it. Like
yes.
flying geese. Like okay,
you can make me cry over clay.
This is so funny because my sister is the biggest nature. She loves nature over children. Like that, she's that girl. And I go, you got to see the Wild Robot. But I go, but you're gonna be fucked up. And she goes, I know. She goes, I know. That's why I haven't done it. But she would like that. That's her movie to cry at. Meanwhile, my stupid ass, like I think I teared up once, and then like I just thought it was great, but I teared up one time, and then I'm watching Wallace and Gromit, and I'm just like having the fucking greatest moment of my life watching that stupid penguin chicken. It's a penguin with a glove on its head, and it calls itself, and then it has a words.
Did you see that they? Did you see that they brought? Again, I'm gonna cry. Did you see that they brought Wallace and Gromit to the BAFTAs? And they had the matching suits. Matching suits, I say. Oh my god, matching suits with the gnome, the gnome, and Feathers McGraw in like a little bow tie. Precious. That's on Netflix, right? Yes, and it's the joke of the wanted sign of Feathers McGraw saying, "Have you seen this chicken?" I haven't laughed at something so. I watched it on a plane, and when I tell you I was in tears laughing. Oh, that's gonna be me. I laughed at the White Lotus and Feathers McGraw. And that is the duality of Halley. You love to see it. That is 100% my duality. You love to see it. Nailed it. I too am a sad clown. I see you. I lost my shit. But that's so. I did see Memoir of a Snail. Very good movie, but what'd you think of it? I haven't seen it. It's okay, man. It's sad. It's just depressing, and it's very like dour. And I'm just like, I get it, but it's again clay. It's the fact that it's all handmade is just really cool. I love that we got 2 stop motion nominees this year. 2 stop motions and 2 that are about like climate change. Yeah. And then one about mental health. And then one about mental health. Yeah. A good movie. A very good movie. Speaking of, what did you think of Inside Out 2? I love Anxiety. I liked the movie. Oh my God. I love that little character. That little character is the best. I love Maya Hawke. She's great. She stole my heart. As soon as I saw her on Stranger Things, she's been my girl ever since. The anxiety pounding coffee while working the board is the inside of my brain. Yo, relatable as hell. Me trying to make pizza dough with like 20 minutes to figure out how to set up my microphone and record this episode. I'm like, why am I in the kitchen right now? Like, I think this is a rare year where Wild Robot has resonated even more for some reason. I agree. I think cool. It's going to be that one. I'm not sure, but I hope so. I think a lot of the animated nominees this year were really strong. And there's a couple I still have to see. But before I let you go, is there any other standouts? Anything that we've... Can we talk about script real quick? Oh my God, of course. Yes, writing. I want so badly for adapted screenplay to go to Sing Sing. Me too. And I think it's going to go to Conclave, which, listen, I love, because I didn't realize Conclave, I forgot it was a novel. Me too. I fucking love Conclave. Me. Yeah. I did not know Conclave was a book. I didn't either. What a book. But who reads? Who reads? I love Conclave. I would love Sing Sing to win those so that all those guys can get an Oscar. Yeah. Oh my God. If all of those guys go up on stage, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna cry. And then original screenplay, I think that's where you're gonna get The Substance. Ooh. Although Nora, I think did. I know Nora won the WGA. Heat? I think The Substance has heat because otherwise, what are they gonna give it? Let's see. Makeup and Demi. Original, we have A Real Pain, September 5, The Substance, Anora, and The Brutalist. Original, God, it might be The Brutalist. It might be. Oh, you think? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's good. I don't think the writing is good, but no, I don't either. I really don't. Earlier, I was thinking original screenplay was going to go to Anora, But when I'm thinking back on a lot of that dialogue, especially for Mikey, and that's also why I dropped her to number 2 for actress, I felt like a lot of Mikey's dialogue ended up being, what the fuck is going on? Vanya? Vanya? Vanya?
Oh.
Vanya? What's going on?
Fraud marriage. That's my favorite.
My fraud marriage?
I can't do the accent, but a fraud marriage. So funny. My favorite line in the whole thing, though, is when the your Borisov goes, he speaks in Russian, but he goes, he's on a, what do you call it? And then in English, he goes, bender. Like, it's so cute and funny.
I love it. So I think the writing ended up, now that I think back on it, I feel like writing was a little weak for Honora. So I'm going to agree with you. For adapted, I also didn't know A Complete Unknown was adapted.
Oh yeah, that was, it's off
these are blowing my mind. I don't think I knew that. I don't think I knew any of these were adapted except for Amelia Perez, of course.
Wait, what is Amelia Perez adapted off?
What? It's an opera.
Oh, wow.
It's an opera.
That says everything about why it's so fucking weird.
So I don't know for adapted. I think you might be right with Conclave.
Of course it's a fucking opera.
It is.
I think Conclave, they're going to give it to that because I think the big thing, sometimes with these guys, with the scripts, they're like, where can we give something that's not going to get anything else? But I do think Best Original, you're going to kill me. If Brutalist wins Best Original, I think it's going to win Best Picture. If Nora wins Original Screenplay, I think it's going to win Best Picture. If The Substance wins, that means nothing, but that just means that's like, that doesn't
that just made my stomach drop.
No, I know. It's either going to determine Best Picture or it's going to give The Substance or A Real Pain their gold guy. But I do now. What it could predict if The Substance wins is Demi Moore winning.
Oh, I would love for Demi to win. When she gave her speech at the Golden Globes, by the way, and she was like, "This is the first time I've ever been nominated for acting." I was like, "How the fuck?"
It is 100%.
Ghost? G.I. Jane?
Yeah. Nobody got only Whoopi got
Indecent Proposal? Are we like, what is happening? Demi Moore has never been nominated for an acting award? Are we fucking what? Charlie's Angels Full Throttle?
St. Elmo's Fire?
St. Elmo's Fire? What the fuck are we
Fire.
doing?
She's the best part of St. Elmo's Fire.
100%. She's amazing in that movie, and that's one of her first movies. What are we doing?
She and Ali Sheedy make that movie. 100%.
Oh my god, I love Ali Sheedy. Yeah, I thought that was very strange and also great narrative to like throw into the campaign. Like, hey, hint, by the way, I've been in this business for like 50 years and y'all have never nominated me for shit. She deserves her It's Time Oscar. Yeah.
That's like Michelle Yeoh. Remember, we were so excited. I mean, Michelle Yeoh, I think, is younger. But remember when Michelle Yeoh won? And we were like, the world is right.
Yes.
I think that's how I'm going to feel about this.
If Demi
Michelle
wins,
Yeoh, I was even more like, oh my God, please win. But because like if Mikey wins, I'm not going to be mad. But but if fucking she wins, she's going to be in the Michelle Yeoh category of like, fucking finally. We did something right.
I would love that for Demi. I would love that. Yeah, I think we did it in a very scattershot in our own way. We got there. We got to the.
I'd have it no other way. I love the tangents we went on, the roads we discovered, the controversies we talked about bravely.
We are so brave.
We are so brave. Oh, one last thing. Best meme of the year for a movie.
Oh yes. Oh my god.
I have an Oscar
what do you got?
for it. So the best meme of the year goes to the Nosferatu meme where the skeleton has its arms around the girl dancing, saying "This is Nosferatu." 100%. That's the best meme of the fucking Oscar 2025. It won after Conclave. It won after the subject. Congratulations, Nosferatu.
Congratulations to Nosferatu.
Go enjoy that second real estate that you just bought across from your situationship.
Oh my God.
You
Incredible
millennial
work.
prince.
Oh, it's so antiquated, but yet also so modern. So thank you for joining us for this emergency episode. Halley, you are welcome back on here anytime you want. Anytime,
Yes.
and I mean that. You will definitely be back on. Do you have anything to plug before I let
Oh
you
my
go?
God. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so much. I can't wait to come back. This
Hold
was
up
an
your
honor.
award.
This was an honor, and I thank you. And I would like to thank you for believing in me when I was just here. When I was just on Instagram as a wee baby sending memes.
Sending memes back and forth.
You believed in my ability to co-host, and I hope I delivered. Thank you so much. Wipes
And
away
that's
tears.
time.
Oh, I knew it. Yeah, but
Wrap it up.
Plug. Okay, if you're in the New York area, come to our watch party, Oscar party. We are watching the Oscars at the Rat NYC in Dumbo, Brooklyn. You can get your tickets on therat.com, and you can also get your tickets on Eventbrite. We have an Eventbrite. Follow us on Instagram at WatchPartay, PARTAYYY. And you'll get a bunch of similarly iconic memes. And my two comedy partners, Melissa and Veronica, and I, we're gonna sing songs about Chalamet. We're gonna sing songs about who got snubbed. We're gonna do an opening monologue, and we're going to do drinking games for different moments of the award ceremony, including
Oh my God.
when they bring up controversy and when they thank God and stuff like that. So a lot of silly, a lot of fun. Dress nice, bring your gowns, bring your friends, bring your dates, bring your situationships, bring your
maybe leave
nerds.
the blackface at home.
Oh yeah, we will send your ass home.
Yeah.
How about that? You will not be allowed. Just because the nominees did it doesn't mean you can do it. Oh my God, I can't believe this. Send me off a fucking cliff. But now if you dress up as Nosferatu, you will not only be admitted, but you will get a front row seat and a shout out from me and maybe a free drink from me.
Yes.
But yeah, I'll treat you. But anyway, that's what we're doing. There's going to be a red carpet. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, and you'll get to watch the Oscars with some friends.
Beautiful. I wish I could fly up there and join you, but
we
sadly,
did too, man.
I will be in Raleigh in my bedroom probably, or
it's okay.
We'll I'll be allegedly illegally streaming it somewhere, probably. Allegedly.
Dude. Allegedly, yeah. It's not real. It's not real.
Don't come for me, ABC. Don't come for me.
Those ABC guys, you know.
Please don't. Whoever's hosting the Oscars, I didn't just say that, and I'm sorry if
Conan supports you. Don't worry. Conan's
Thank you.
Guy.
He would. He's an Aries just like me, so we're locked in. Oh my God, this has been such a joy, such a pleasure. Listen, for Halley, starting next week, we're going to. Oh, did I tell you, by the way? We're doing Power of the Dog as a 2-part episode because
that's what I get.
Because we yapped.
I apologize.
Don't apologize. There's just so much we don't want to cut. Lindsay and I were like, we're splitting this into 2 episodes. So you're getting a Power of the Dog. You are our first 2-part episode, babe. You're getting a part 1 of Power of the Dog next week. And then the following Tuesday after that, we will have Halley for part 2 of Power of the Dog.
Honored.
There we go. Hold it up again. All right, so that's the Oscar for longest episode of Post-Film Clarity.
I didn't think I'd win more than one time. This is so incredible. Oh my God. Thank you, Post-Film Clarity. I couldn't, you have the best name in the biz and the best people in the biz.
Thank you.
I couldn't be more honored to be here.
We're honored to have you. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Post-Film Clarity Pod. Follow us on Letterboxd at Post-Film Clarity, and reach out to us via email at postfilmclaritypod@gmail.com. Thank you once again to Halley Platz, actress extraordinaire, improv queen. So happy to have her on here. Please follow Halley and all of her precious memes on Instagram. Thank you, and bye, honeys.